Hi guys, good afternoon and a very warm welcome to the session here. I can say some of you have already joined us here. A very good afternoon everyone. I hope you guys are doing well and your preparations are going good too. अभी आपका weekend के बाद exam ही है, right? So we have the examination in few days. 16th को है. So we will be preparing this particular subject for today, right? That is your decision making. Now here 10 questions will be there in your paper, although it is just qualifying in nature, but yes, we have to answer minimum qualifying marks हमें यहाँ पर लाने हैं. So we will be having some 100 questions for today, right? तो आज हम 100 MCQs करने वाले हैं, from where you can have a very good idea that what type of questions do you come across and what are the possible types of questions that will be there in the upcoming examination. बट बिफोर दैट गाइज वन स्मॉल रिक्वेस्ट, दैट इज एक बार जल्दी से सबके साथ शेयर कर दो सेशन को, ताकि सबको पता चल जाए कि क्लास है, आज मैराथन है, राइट? सो वी विल बी हैविंग 100 क्वेश्चंस फॉर टुडे. एंड ऑल्सो गाइज प्लीज रिमेंबर, ये आपका डेली मैराथन चल रहा है अभी, ठीक है? जैसे आज थर्सडे है, so I am taking the marathon for your decision making top 100 questions. Similarly, tomorrow you will be having two marathon sessions. Like at 9:30 a.m. your Lakshmi ma'am will be taking PIB marathon top 200 questions part 2. And similarly, your CK marathon from Niharika ma'am will be there at 2 p.m. Right? So do not miss these out tomorrow. And Saturday को भी आपका एक marathon है 9:30 a.m. onwards, where you will have Lakshmi ma'am again schemes marathon, so all the government schemes and everything. So you still have 3 more marathons after today, ठीक है? तो do not miss it out. Good afternoon everyone. तो चलो शुरू करते हैं आज का सेशन. Let's have a look at the top 100 MCQs for your decision making questions. Okay, so the first question is there on your screen. This has to be answered very quickly, right? We will just quickly have a look at the question, answer the question, and then we will see what is the answer. चलिए जल्दी से आंसर बताइए. What should be the answer, guys? Very quickly. Good afternoon everyone. Anyone? What is the decision making? Basic definition है. What is decision making? ये सब के लिए ना, decision making के लिए you don't have to go through a lot of theory. It is normal, your common sense based question. Decision making क्या हो सकता है? Is it a random choice? No, it's never a random choice. Similarly, a way to avoid taking action? No, never. And you can see B will give you the right answer here. A process of selecting the best option from available alternatives, right? So it is a process of selecting the best option from available alternatives. जो भी आपके सामने alternatives है. So there is a problematic situation. So you will have to see that what are the different alternatives, and you have to weigh all the pros and cons. So that is your decision making process, right? So it is the process of choosing the most suitable option from the available alternatives based on a set of criteria. Okay, chalo, next question. Very quickly, let's have a look at this one. So what is a structured decision? Structured decision. What is a structured decision? Again, you can answer this without any knowledge, right? Just by going through the option with option elimination also, you can answer this one. And today we have taken past 2 years questions also, guys. So please do check it out. Past 2 years के questions भी हमने लिए हैं आज, ठीक है? चलो, what is a structured decision? Now from the word itself you can understand structured decision क्या होगा. It has to be planned, it has to be weighed, right? तो जो decision पूरा एकदम सोच समझ के लिया जाए, which has been done after a full thorough process and सब कुछ criteria लगाने के बाद जो decision आता है, that has to be a structured decision. A decision made without any planning, can this be a structured decision? No. A decision based on intuition, can this just be based on intuition and no research and all? No, it has to be a structured plan, है ना? A decision based on luck? No, absolutely not. So you can see this option elimination will also help you out. So a decision with a clearly defined process and criteria is said to be a structured decision here. ठीक है, तो इसका आंसर क्या है? Option number C. Okay, चलो, next question on your screen. Let's have a look at this one. Question number 3. जल्दी से इसका आंसर बताइए. What should be the answer, guys? So we have seen in question number 2 what is actually a structured decision. Unstructured decision on the other hand, जिसके बारे में ज़्यादा planning हम नहीं करते, right? Structured is something which is planned properly with a sequence of steps. That is, you have to weigh all the pros and cons. You have to think about the long-term implications. But unstructured decision, which is not something for which you need a lot of thinking, right? बहुत ज़्यादा सोचने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती. Like let's say selecting a college major. This is a very important decision which will need a planning here because it is defining your career objectives, right? Career goals. So you can see B cannot be the right answer here. Similarly, C क्या बोल रहा है? Deciding whether to invest in a mutual fund. Again, a very important decision here. So again, this cannot be the right answer. तो इसका आंसर क्या होना चाहिए? Choosing what to have for breakfast. Absolutely, this is an unstructured decision, right? इसमें ज्यादा सोचने की इतनी जरूरत नहीं होती है. Not having very long term implications here. तो आंसर क्या होगा इसका? It will be option number A. That is choosing what to have for breakfast. So choosing what to have for breakfast is often an unstructured decision as it may not involve a formal process or criteria. इतना formal process या criteria इसमें नहीं involved होता, right? That is an unstructured decision. Structured decision, on the other hand, will be something for which you need to have a lot of planning and thinking, and you need to weigh out all the alternatives that you have. Like let's say यहाँ पर आप college major की बात करते हो, so you will have to see all the alternatives that you have, all the choices that you have, right? So let's say you are taking for finance, you are going for marketing, you are going for HR. तो आप उसमें से डिसाइड करोगे दैट व्हाट आर द करियर इम्प्लीकेशंस फॉर ईच ऑफ दीज, व्हाट इज द मार्केट स्टडी फॉर ईच ऑफ दीज, व्हाट विल बी द आरओआई. ठीक है, सब कुछ आप देखने के बाद फिर अपना डिसीजन लोगे, है ना. चलो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, लेट्स हैव अ लुक एट दिस वन. लेट्स चेक, ट्राई दिस. एंकरिंग नाम से क्या समझ में आता है? व्हाट शुड बी एंकरिंग फ्रॉम इन टर्म्स ऑफ डिसीजन मेकिंग. लेट्स से एंकर होता है. एंकर क्या होता है? वी हैव अ शिप, राइट? शिप में एक एंकर होता है. So that is like it makes it stay at one place, right? So what should be the one that is going to be the answer here as per you guys? चलो जल्दी से बताइए. Anyone, what should be the answer here? Anybody answer? किसी को नहीं पता? Not a very difficult one, guys. Anchoring से क्या समझ में आता है? Is it a technique to weigh pros and cons? No, it is not a technique to weigh pros and cons. वो आपका SWOT analysis में होता है. Strength, weakness, opportunity, threat, जहाँ पर आप pros and cons को weigh करते हो, right? That is not the answer. Saurabh says it has to be B. The tendency to rely too heavily on the first piece of information encountered. Absolutely. So you clutch on to something that is easily available. जो first information मिला आपने उसी के बारे में आपने उसी को लेके अपना decision बना लिया. So that is your anchoring, right? It is a kind of bias here. So whatever piece of information is first available, so जो सबसे पहले आपको information मिल गया, on the basis of that you have taken a decision. So that is said to be anchoring here. ठीक है? So that will be your option here. So you can see anchoring is a cognitive bias. It is a bias here where individuals rely too heavily on the first piece of information, that is the anchor, they encounter while making the decisions, right? That is said to be anchoring. I hope this is clear, everybody. Chalo, next question. Very quickly on your screen, let's have a look at this one. Let's try. So, which decision model involves identifying and evaluating all possible options to make a decision? A very easy question, can be answered on the basis of elimination. Elimination से आप आराम से आंसर बता सकते हो. That is, you are involving, identifying and evaluating all possible options here. So this is a structured kind of thing that you are doing, right? पूरा structured decision making हो रहा है यहाँ पर. You are evaluating all the possible answers here, all the possible options here to make a decision. So which of the following should be the answer? Very quickly, eliminate the options. Can it be intuitive? No. Intuitive कैसे होगा? When you are evaluating every option here, so it cannot be intuitive. Can it be emotional? No, again not. So you can see it has to be the rational one, right? You are taking a rational decision here. You are evaluating all the possible options. So explanation says the rational decision making model involves a systematic process, right? So it is a systematic process of identifying and evaluating all possible options before making a decision. So you will be evaluating all the possible options here. Let's say option A, B, C and D. So here also let's say if you have to make a systematic and You have to identify that what should be the answer. You have to decide between them. So you will have to systematically check that why it cannot be B, why it cannot be C, or why it has to be A, right? तो यही आपका स्टेप बाय स्टेप प्रोसेस होता है टू मेक अ डिसीजन हियर. ओके, चलो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन ऑन योर स्क्रीन. लेट्स हैव अ लुक एट दिस वन. लेट्स चेक what is satisficing in decision making. Satisficing क्या होता है? Again another type of bias here. What is satisficing, guys? Anybody? Choosing the best option available? No, that is not the one. Choosing the best option available is not the answer for satisfying. Choosing the best option available is actually a good decision making, right? वो bias नहीं होता है. Setting unrealistic goal? No. Accepting a suboptimal option that meets the minimum criteria? Absolutely, Swami. So you can see that would be the answer here. So what is satisfying? It is the act of choosing an option that meets the minimum criteria to make the decision without necessarily seeking the absolute best option. So it may be possible. So let's say if we have 5 options at hand and we have chosen one option and it is not the best one. हमने ज़्यादा सोचा ही नहीं. We have not taken all the criteria into consideration and we have not seen anything else apart from that particular option. हमें जो option सही लगा हमने ज्यादा इतना छानबीन नहीं किया, हमने उसी को ले लिया. एंड इट कुड हैव बीन पॉसिबल दैट देयर वर अदर बेटर ऑप्शंस देन दैट, राइट? सो दैट इज योर सैटिस्फाइंग, द एक्ट ऑफ चूजिंग एन ऑप्शन दैट मीट्स द मिनिमम क्राइटेरिया, है ना? तो जैसे मुझे मान लो यहाँ पर मेजर चूज करना था, सो आई थॉट दैट ओके आई विल गो फॉर फाइनेंस बिकॉज देयर आर अ लॉट ऑफ जॉब अवेलेबिलिटी फॉर दैट. But again, I'll have to consider all the other aspects as well. I'll have to consider कि फ्यूचर में क्या जॉब एस्पेक्ट्स हैं, उसकी जॉब्स कहाँ कहाँ अवेलेबल है, क्या इज इट अवेलेबल एट व्हाट प्लेस आई एम देयर. इफ आई एम एट लखनऊ, सो डू आई हैव द जॉब्स इन द विसिनिटी और विल आई हैव टू चेंज द प्लेस. सो आई हैव जस्ट सीन वन और टू ऑफ द क्राइटेरिया, मिनिमम क्राइटेरिया उसने मीट कर लिया एंड आई हैव टेकन दैट पर्टिकुलर डिसीजन. But here there could have been a possibility that there were other options also available which could have been a better decision for me, right? So that is your satisfying here. Chalo, next question on your screen. Let's have a look at this one. Question number 7. Let's check. चलो जल्दी से इसका आंसर बताओ. So gut feeling and rather than a formal analysis. So which decision is made based on gut feelings and experience rather than on a formal analysis? ये तो पढ़ के ही समझ में आएगा, रैशनल तो नहीं होना चाहिए, बिकॉज इफ इट वाज रैशनल इट शुड बी ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ फॉर्मल एनालिसिस, राइट? एनालिटिकल भी नहीं हो सकता, है ना? सो शील एब्सोल्युटली इट हैज टू बी इंट्यूटिव, राइट? सो यू कैन सी intuitive decision is based on your gut feeling, intuition, right? Intuition कहते हैं. So intuition के पे based आपका है यहाँ पर. So intuitive decisions are made on the gut feelings and personal experiences, right? So I mean it won't be D, it has to be the intuitive one. Intuition based decision ले रहे हैं हम यहाँ पर, gut feelings पे based decision ले रहे हैं, अपने experiences से draw कर रहे हैं, right? That is your intuitive decision making here. Okay, चलो next question on your screen. Let's have a look at this one. Let's try. So which of the following is not a step in the decision making process? इनमें से कौन सा decision making का process का step नहीं है? We have already seen that in the basic class that we have uploaded yesterday. तो कल हमने एक class upload करी थी for the theory of your decision making. I hope everybody has seen. There we have already discussed all the steps of decision making. So first of all is identifying alternatives or identifying the decision that has to be made. Then we have to weigh all the alternatives, right? अब यहाँ पर कौन सा होगा? Evaluating the decision based on intuition, right? Intuition तो आपका decision making process का part ही नहीं है ना? I hope this is clear. So it has to be option number B. That is, evaluation should be based on rational criteria, not just on intuition. So it has to be option number B. So evaluating the decision based on intuition is not a step in the decision making process. Okay. Chalo, next question, question number 9. Let's have a look at this one. चलिए जल्दी से इसका आंसर बताइए. व्हाट इज कॉमन टेक्निक फॉर ग्रुप डिसीजन मेकिंग where members anonymously provide input or feedback? So we are having anonymous members here. Anonymously उन्होंने vote किया है. So it cannot be a group think or it cannot be brainstorming, क्योंकि in that group thinking या brainstorming या group discussion में क्या होता है, you have to be present physically there, right? So it cannot be brainstorming, it cannot be group thinking. Anchoring is a kind of bias, so that means it has to be Delphi method, right? So Delphi method क्या होता है? Delphi method is a technique where group members provide input and feedback anonymously and independently, right? तो वो anonymous होता है, independent होता है. Nobody knows who has provided that particular feedback in here. Okay, so that is another type of technique for making the decision, for taking the information that we need for making a particular decision. ठीक है, चलो ये बताओ, बहुत इजी सा क्वेश्चन है. व्हाट डज SWOT एनालिसिस स्टैंड फॉर? SWOT का मतलब क्या होता है? व्हाट इज SWOT? SWOT, where we weigh all the alternatives that we have here. SWOT का क्या मतलब होता है? Anyone? It has to be your option A, that is strengths, weakness, opportunities and threat. So S is strength, W is weakness, O is opportunity and T is your threat. So that is your SWOT analysis. It is a framework for evaluating a decision by considering what are its strengths, what are its weaknesses, what are its opportunities and what are its threats, right? So absolutely Sushil, आंसर क्या होगा यहाँ पर? इसका ऑप्शन होगा A. चलो, very nice. Next question. Which of the following is an example of non-programmed decision? Non-programmed and programmed decision क्या होता है? Programmed decision is something which happens on a daily basis, right? जो routine task होते हैं जिसमें ज्यादा सोचने की जरूरत नहीं होती. Like let's say people are coming to an organization, so they are coming on time or not. That is a type of non-programmed decision. But something which has a long-term implication, like let's say if you are going to acquire a company, right? उस तरह का चीज जो होता है ना, वो नॉन प्रोग्राम में आ जाता है. अच्छा चलो, सी है, बी होगा सुशील. नॉन प्रोग्राम क्या होता है? दैट इज समथिंग विच इज हैविंग अ वेरी लेंथी, वेरी लॉन्ग टर्म implication, right? So they are non repetitive, they are unique and the decisions have to be made after a careful criteria, right? तो सब कुछ carefully decide करना पड़ता है उसमें. So that is said to be non-programmed. जो आप बोल रहे हो ना, that is a programmed kind, that is a daily routine task. तो वो जिसमें आपको बहुत सोचने की जरूरत है, जिसके लॉन्ग टर्म implications होते हैं, that is said to be non-programmed decision. Okay, so non-programmed decisions are unique, non-repetitive decisions that require careful consideration, such as budget decisions. तो जो भी बहुत important decisions होते हैं किसी particular चीज के लिए, let's say a company, तो वो आपका नॉन प्रोग्राम्ड डिसीजन मेकिंग में आता है. ठीक है, चलो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन वेरी क्विकली, लेट्स हैव अ लुक एट दिस वन. चलिए ट्राई करिए. व्हाट शुड बी द आंसर? कंफर्मेशन बायस इज अ कॉग्निटिव बायस दैट डैश. लेट्स सी. कंफर्मेशन बायस, क्या होगा इसका आंसर? Anyone? Involves being overly skeptical about all the information, involves making decision based on emotions, involves flip-flopping between the decisions, या फिर involves seeking out information that supports one's pre-existing beliefs. A, absolutely सुशील, इसका आंसर क्या होगा? इसका आंसर A होगा. So it is involving seeking out information that supports one's pre-existing beliefs. It is the tendency to seek out information that confirms or supports one's existing beliefs or decisions. ठीक है, आंसर क्या आएगा? A आएगा. बिल्कुल सही है. चलो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, लेट्स हैव अ लुक एट दिस वन. Which type of decision making style involves making quick decisions with limited information? तो जल्दी इंफॉर्मेशन, जल्दी डिसाइड करना है कम इंफॉर्मेशन में. So what is that? What is that type of decision making style? Quick decisions with limited information. डायरेक्ट इंफॉर्मेशन, डायरेक्ट डिसाइड करते हैं हम यहाँ पर, ऐसा कह सकते हो, है ना, कि डायरेक्टली हमने डिसाइड कर लिया, ज्यादा नहीं सोचा, तो क्विक डिसीजन लिया है, लिमिटेड इंफॉर्मेशन में लिया है. सो यू कैन रिमेंबर इट बाय द वर्ड डायरेक्ट, कि एकदम डायरेक्ट डिसीजन ले लिया, ज्यादा नहीं सोचा यहाँ पर. सो इट विल बी योर डायरेक्टिव डिसीजन. द डायरेक्टिव डिसीजन मेकिंग स्टाइल इन्वॉल्व्स मेकिंग क्विक डिसीजंस विद लिमिटेड इंफॉर्मेशन. ठीक है, तो इसको क्या बोलते हैं, इसको डायरेक्टिव डिसीजन मेकिंग बोलते हैं. ओके, वेयर वट एवर इंफॉर्मेशन यू हैव, लिमिटेड इंफॉर्मेशन, उसी में से हमने डिसाइड कर लिया, एंड इट्स अ वेरी क्विक प्रोसेस. चलो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, क्वेश्चन नंबर 14. लेट्स सी, इसका आंसर बताइए. What is the common decision making tool for selecting the most suitable option when multiple criteria are involved? What is a common decision making tool for selecting the most suitable option when multiple criteria are involved? Cost benefit analysis, SWOT analysis, pros and cons list, या none of the above? कौन सा होगा? Anybody? C, pros and cons list. ए होगा. सुशील, इसका आंसर क्या होगा? इसका आंसर ए होगा. Cost benefit analysis is a tool used to evaluate options based on multiple criteria, typically in a quantitative manner. तो cost benefit में क्या करते हैं, हम उसका cost calculate करते हैं, and what are the different benefits that we weigh, right? तो उसको हम check करते हैं. So it has to be accordingly, मतलब उसमें multiple criteria को आप देखते हो कि इसका कितना benefit मिल रहा है, इसका क्या हो रहा है. सो पूरा इनपुट और पूरा आउटपुट आपको वहां पर वे करना पड़ेगा, एंड देन यू विल बी सिलेक्टिंग द बेस्ट पॉसिबल दैट इज ऑप्शन यू हैव, राइट? सो दैट इज योर कॉस्ट बेनिफिट एनालिसिस. सो हियर यू आर यूजिंग दिस एज अ टूल टू इवैल्यूएट ऑल द ऑप्शंस बेस्ड ऑन मल्टीपल क्राइटेरिया. ठीक है, चलो इसका आंसर बताइए. लेट्स सी, व्हाट इज द टर्म फॉर द phenomenon where people tend to overestimate their ability to predict future events? ये तो नाम से ही समझ में आ जाएगा. This can be answered just by reading it, because we are talking about a bias which is about overestimating their ability to predict the future events. A prediction of future events को क्या बोलेंगे? Is it a hindsight bias? Is it a overconfidence bias? Is it a anchoring bias, or is it a confirmation bias? Okay, Jackson says it should be B. 15th is B, overconfidence. Absolutely, that is right. बिल्कुल B होगा. Why? Because they are overestimating their ability to predict the future events, right? तो overestimate कर रहे हैं. So overconfidence bias is the tendency for individuals to overestimate their abilities, including their ability to predict the future events. बिल्कुल सही है. Good job, guys. चलो next question very quickly. Question number 16. Let's try. What will be the answer for 16? Sixteenth is also B, bounded rationality. Great job, Jacqueline. So you can see which decision making suggests that people make decisions by selecting the first option that meets their minimum criteria. Absolutely, it has to be the bounded one, right? So bounded rationality model क्या कहता है? Bounded rationality model suggests that people make decisions by selecting the first option that meets their minimum criteria due to limited information and cognitive resources. So that is said to be bounded rationality model. Okay, next question, let's have a look at this one. Let's try. जल्दी से इसका आंसर बताइए. In group decision making, what is group think? What is group think? A process of collecting individual opinions, a technique to encourage creativity, a tendency for group members to confirm and suppress dissenting views, a method for ranking alternatives. Which one? Group think. अब ग्रुप थिंक है तो ग्रुप को इन्वॉल्व करेगा, राइट? डी, अ मेथड ऑफ रैंकिंग इन ऑल्टरनेटिव्स. नो, इट हैज टू बी ऑप्शन नंबर सी. So group think is a phenomenon where group members conform to consensus and suppress dissenting views, often resulting in poor decision making, right? So it has to be option number C. So it is again something where they have a group, right? They form a group and they just suppress all the dissenting views, right? So whatever the negative views are, whatever are not in the favor of, they just try to suppress it and come to a final conclusion. But generally it gives rise to poor decision making, because sometimes the negative ones also can be a good feedback, right? So suppressing something which is of dissenting views, that is not the right one. ठीक है, तो आंसर क्या होगा? सी होगा. चलो, let's have a look at this one. Let's try. Which step in the decision making process involves putting the chosen solution into action? क्या होगा इसका आंसर? ये तो पढ़ के बता सकते हैं. This can be just answered by reading it. So which step of the decision making has to be chosen, putting the chosen solution into action? Okay, Nicola says D, Jackin D, Sushil D. Absolutely, it has to be implementing the decision, right? So we are talking about implementation of the whatever action has to be done, right? Whatever we have decided, तो उसका implementation करने की बात कर रहे हैं. So implementing the decision is the step where the chosen solution is put into action, right? बिल्कुल सही है. चलो, next question very quickly. Question number 19. Let's try. So what is the term for making decision based on emotions rather than rational analysis? What is the answer? A, B. Intuition. Intuition तो हमने अभी थोड़ी देर पहले देखा था ना. What was intuition? It was based on the gut feeling and the experiences. Here we are talking about emotions. So it is based on emotions rather than analysis. So yes, it is intuition again. So you can see it is based on emotions rather than rational analysis. So again you can see it is your intuition. Again a type of bias, right? आपका biased information पे होता है. That is whatever emotions, whatever gut feeling, whatever experiences you have in the past. तो वही चीज है. So making decisions based on emotions rather than rational analysis is always is referred to as relying on intuition. ठीक है निकला? So it has to be A, that is intuition. So intuition based आपके जो होते हैं ना, that is based on emotions rather than taking a rational decision. चलो next question, let's have a look at this one. Question number 20. Let's try. What is the primary goal of a decision making process? Very easy. ये तो बहुत easy है. So what is the primary goal of a decision making process? C, Jacqueline. Okay. C, Nicola. Absolutely. It has to be option number C. You can see it is to select the best option available, right? Best option based on available information. ठीक है? चलो बिल्कुल सही है. C would be the right answer. 21. Which of the following is not a common decision making tool? Decision making tool इनमें से कौन सा नहीं है? Decision matrix, Pareto chart, scatter plot, decision tree. So which of the following is not the right answer? Which of the following is not a decision making tool? कौन सा नहीं है इसमें से? Decision matrix, Pareto chart, scatter plot, decision tree. Okay, B. B होता है Jacqueline. It is there. Pareto is there. It will be your scatter plot. ठीक है? आंसर क्या होगा यहाँ पर? स्कैटर प्लॉट होगा. स्कैटर प्लॉट इज अ वन दैट इज यूज्ड फॉर डेटा विजुअलाइजेशन. तो ये डेटा को विजुअलाइज करने के लिए यूज होता है. इट इज नॉट अ डिसीजन मेकिंग टूल. ओके, सो इट विल बी योर ऑप्शन नंबर सी. ओके, चलो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन वेरी क्विकली ऑन योर स्क्रीन. लेट्स हैव अ लुक एट दिस वन. क्वेश्चन नंबर 22. चलो जल्दी जल्दी करेंगे गाइस. वी हैव टू हैव 100 क्वेश्चंस फॉर टुडे, राइट? चलो जल्दी से इसका आंसर बताइए. व्हाट शुड बी द आंसर फॉर क्वेश्चन नंबर 22? Which of the following is a common barrier to effective decision making? Critical thinking, group collaboration, cognitive bias, data analysis. Cognitive bias? Cognitive bias? Absolutely. नाम से ही पता चल रहा है bias है ना? So we are having this bias here. Cognitive biases can act as barriers to effective decision making by distorting the judgment and decision making process. So absolutely it has to be your cognitive bias, right? Chalo, question number 23. What does the acronym VUCA stand for in the context of decision making? VUCA. Decision making में VUCA का acronym क्या है? The full form for this. कौन सा होगा? So the decisions can be volatile, uncertain, complex and ambiguous. Nay, 23 will be your option number B. Okay. So when you are talking about decision making and VUCA, so we say that the decisions can be volatile, they can be uncertain, they can be complex, and they can be ambiguous, right? So that means it has to be option number B. So VUCA stands for volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous, and it refers to the challenges faced in decision making in today's rapidly changing world, right? So these are the challenges that you have when you come across your decision making. जब आपको decide करना होता है, so these are the challenges that you face. That is, they can be volatile, they are uncertain, they are complex and ambiguous because it is changing rapidly. हर situation change हो रही है आजकल, है ना? Chalo, let's have a look at this one. Let's try. What is the decision making principle that suggests selecting the option with the highest expected value? Highest expected value को लेने का decision making principle. Which is that principle? Question number 24. A. Maximax. A. C होगा, ठीक है? इनके सबके डेफिनेशंस देखना, हमने डिस्कस किया है क्लास में. तो व्हाट इज द वैल्यू? देखो यहाँ पर क्या बोला है, सिलेक्टिंग द ऑप्शन विद द हाईएस्ट एक्सपेक्टेड वैल्यू. दैट इज हाईएस्ट एक्सपेक्टेड वैल्यू विल बी दिस वन, ठीक है? So expected value is the decision making principle that involves selecting the option with the highest expected value, which is the average outcome taking into account probabilities. ठीक है? इसका आंसर क्या होगा? It has to be your C. Okay? चलो, question number 25. Very quickly, let's have a look at this one. Which decision making approach uses a systematic comparison of multiple decision criteria to evaluate alternatives? So systematic comparison of multiple decision criteria to evaluate alternatives. इसका आंसर क्या होना चाहिए? Whether it is an analytical hierarchy process, whether it is a satisficing approach. देखो satisficing तो नहीं है, ये तो हम कह सकते हैं it cannot be satisficing approach. वो तो एक bias था, है ना? Anchoring and adjustment, again no. SWOT analysis 25, A or D? Okay, Jackin says A, Nicola says D. Let's check. It has to be A. ठीक है, A होगा. The analytical hierarchy process AHP is a decision making approach that involves systematic comparisons of decision criteria to evaluate the alternatives, right? So हम hierarchy decide करते हैं, and then on the basis of that we decide that which is the best possible alternative, right? So वो आपका AHP या analytical hierarchy process होता है, ठीक है? So the answer here has to be option number A. Okay? Chalo, next question. Easy. If you know what is heuristic, what is the meaning of heuristic? Again, a bias here, right? In decision making, what is heuristic? Answer guys, very quickly. क्या होगा इसका आंसर? चलो, इसका आंसर होगा a mental shortcut or a rule of thumb. So heuristic is what? It is a mental shortcut or a rule of thumb. It is generally a bias, another form of bias, right? So heuristics are mental shortcuts or rule of thumb and simplify the decision making process. ठीक है? चलो, 27 देखिए, पढ़िए और आंसर बताइए. Very easy. What is the term for a situation where an individual must choose between two or more undesirable alternatives? तो दो undesirable alternatives के बीच में when you have to make a choice. 27 is C, decision dilemma. देखो, decision dilemma is something where you are unable to choose. That is, हमें नहीं पता कि ये चूज करूं कि ये चूज करूं, लेकिन वहां पर दो अच्छे क्राइटेरिया भी हो सकते हैं, जैकन, right? There can be a possibility that both of them are having good possibilities. This is also good, this is also good. But here we are saying that we have to choose between two undesirable, मतलब दोनों ही एकदम गए गुजरे choices हैं, and we have to make the best out of the worst, right? तो वो वैसी बात है कि अंधों में काना राजा है ना. So that kind of a situation is there. So it has to be a lose situation. आप कुछ भी choose करो, you are choosing an undesirable alternative, right? So it is a situation when an individual must choose between two or more undesirable alternatives. तो दो undesirable alternatives में से जब you have to choose, It is a lose-lose kind of a situation. Okay. Chalo, next question on your screen. Let's have a look at this one. Let's try. So question number 28. Let's see. What is the primary difference between a programmed decision and a non-programmed decision? अभी हमने थोड़ी देर पहले example देखा था. Non-programmed decision was something where it was structured which has longer repercussions, जिसके बारे में थोड़ा ज़्यादा सोचना पड़ता है ना? That kind of a thing was there, that it is not on intuitive judgment. रोज की बात नहीं होती है. It is not a daily basis kind of a thing, right? It does not happen regularly. तो क्या होगा इसका आंसर? B. Absolutely. So programmed decisions are routine decisions, while non-programmed decisions are unique and non-repetitive, right? This is the main difference between the two. Okay? Yes, absolutely. So it has to be option number B. So B आपका बिल्कुल सही है. Okay? चलो, next question. Let's have a look at this one. 29. What is the first step in the rational decision making model? So first step of rational decision making model. 29. Evaluating the alternatives. Evaluating the alternatives. It will be identifying the decision. B होगा, B होगा. Guys, it has to be identifying the decision. पहले समझोगे ना प्रॉब्लम क्या है किस चीज को, पहले तो वो समझना पड़ेगा. You will have to identify what actually is the problem. हाँ, तो प्रॉब्लम तो समझोगे, फिर उसके बारे में सोचोगे कि क्या क्या ऑल्टरनेटिव्स हैं जो हम सॉल्व कर सकते हैं. फर्स्ट थिंग हैज टू बी आइडेंटिफाइंग द डिसीजन, दैट व्हाट एक्चुअली इज द प्रॉब्लम, या हमें करना क्या है, किस बारे में है वो चीज, है ना. दैट इज द फर्स्ट स्टेप हियर. The second will be evaluating the alternatives. This is alternative A. This is the method to solve this problem. This is alternative B. इस तरह से इसको solve कर सकते हैं. That will be the second step here. Okay. So the first step is to identify the decision. Okay. चलो. Question number 30. Let's see. What is the technique for generative creative alternatives in decision making? Creative है. That means we will have many people. है ना. So it has to be many people. Because we have to generate creative alternatives. We should have many alternatives. That means we are talking about groups here. Brainstorming? Absolutely. It has to be brainstorming. बिल्कुल सही बात है. Because when we are in a group, when we are talking among ourselves, different ideas will pour in, right? So brainstorming is a technique for generating creative alternatives by encouraging free-flowing idea generation, right? So this is your brainstorming. चलो, क्वेश्चन नंबर 31. लेट्स सी 31 का क्या आंसर होगा. व्हाट विल बी 31? व्हाट टाइप ऑफ डिसीजन मेकिंग स्टाइल इज कैरेक्टराइज्ड बाय फोकस ऑन पीपल एंड सोशल एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ डिसीजन? एनालिटिकल, डायरेक्टिव, कॉन्सेप्चुअल, बिहेवियरल. निकोला says it has to be behavioral. सुशील also D. एवरीबडी डी. सबका डी आ रहा है या कुछ और भी आ रहा है? डी. एब्सोल्युटली. So it has to be the behavioral aspect, right? We are talking about focusing on people and social aspects of the decision. So you can see behavioral decision making is characterized by focusing on people and the social aspects of decision. Okay, so that is the main aspect of behavioral decision making. चलो, next one, 32. Let's see. इसका आंसर क्या होगा? व्हाट इज द प्राइमरी पर्पस ऑफ अ डिसीजन ट्री इन डिसीजन मेकिंग? डिसीजन ट्री हम क्यों बनाते हैं? व्हाट विल इट रिप्रेजेंट? डिसीजन ट्री से हमें क्या समझ में आएगा? डिसीजन ट्री विल हेल्प इन व्हाट? 32. C, to display a matrix of possible alternatives. Okay. C, सबका C आ रहा है. A, अच्छा चलो देखते A है कि C है. B और D तो नहीं है ना किसी का. Pros and cons तो है नहीं. That is a matrix kind of thing. To summarize the final discussion also no. A होगा. Okay, so this will be A. That is to represent a visual depiction of the decision process. जैसे नॉर्मल ट्री होता है ना, ब्रांचेस होते हैं, तो यहाँ पर हमें विजुअली दिख जाएगा. सो व्हाट विल बी हैपनिंग हियर? सो इट इज अ रिप्रेजेंटेशन, विजुअल डिपिक्शन ऑफ द डिसीजन प्रोसेस, राइट. जैसे आपका नॉर्मल ट्री में ब्रांचेस होते हैं तो हमें दिखता है कि इस ब्रांच पे ये, इस ब्रांच पे ये है. वैसे ही आप जब डिसीजन ट्री बनाते हो, सो यू विल बी हैविंग अ विजुअल डिपिक्टेशन ऑफ ऑल द कंप्लीट प्रोसेस, राइट. कंप्लीट प्रोसेस का डिपिक्शन होता है यहाँ पर. So decision tree is usually to visually represent the decision process, including various alternatives and their associated probabilities, right? So that is said to be the decision tree. तो वो क्या दिखाता है? जो भी probabilities है, probability of success, probability of failure, including all the alternatives. This is alternative A, this is the probability of its success. This is alternative B, this is the probability of success, and so on. ठीक है? So that is your decision tree. It shows all the visual depiction in a decision process. चलो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, वेरी इजी. आरओआई, ये तो बहुत लोगों ने सुना होगा. व्हाट इज आरओआई? व्हाट इज आरओआई? 33, क्वेश्चन नंबर 33. रिटर्न ऑन इन्वेस्टमेंट. रिटर्न ऑन इन्वेस्टमेंट, एवरीबडी सबका ये है ना? वेरी इजी, बहुत इजी सा टर्म है ये तो सबने सुना होगा. रिटर्न ऑन इन्वेस्टमेंट, एब्सोल्युटली. सो वट एवर यू आर इन्वेस्टिंग, उस पर आपको कितना रिटर्न मिल रहा है, राइट. सो लेट्स से आई एम गोइंग इनटू एमबीए प्रोग्राम, आई एम गोइंग टू स्पेंड 8 lakhs इन देयर. सो व्हाट विल बी द आउटपुट दैट आई विल बी गेटिंग? कितना मेरा जॉब लग रहा है, सो दैट विल बी माई आरओआई देयर, है ना. So it is the return on investment and is a measure of the profitability of an investment or a decision. Okay. Chalo, next question, 34. Let's try. 34. What is the term for the tendency to see patterns or connections in random or unrelated data? This is a term. This is a tendency to see patterns or connections in random or unrelated data. थोड़ा सा ट्रिकी है, अगर आपने पढ़ा होगा तो आपको पता होगा. This you cannot guess. This is not a random guesswork or not a one that is common sense here. 34. See, absolutely great work. Yes, it has to be pareidolia, right? So bilkul sahi hai. That is the right answer. So it is the tendency to see patterns or connections in random or unrelated data, often in the form of faces or meaningful shapes, right? That is said to be pareidolia. Okay? I hope this is clear. So 34 will be option number C. B nahi hoga Sushil. It has to be option number C. Okay? Chalo. Next question, 35. Let's try. 35 क्या है? Let's see. So which type of decision making suggests that decisions are made based on personal values, emotions and ethical consideration? Rational तो नहीं हो सकता, bounded भी नहीं होगा, intuitive या behavioral, कौन सा लेंगे? 35. D. 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 Absolutely, it has to be behavioral. अभी थोड़ी देर पहले देखा था ना, behavioral decision making क्या होता है? Persons पे based होता है, right? On social it is based. So you can see behavioral decision making suggests that decisions are influenced by personal values, emotions and ethical consideration, right? So it has to be the behavioral decision model. Okay, chalo 36. Let's see. 36 क्या होगा? What is the term for the decision making process of choosing the most popular or widely accepted option without critical evaluation? What is the term for decision making process for choosing the most popular or widely accepted option without critical evaluation? 36. D. Consensus. Consensus. Nikhila, Jackin, Rudra says groupthink. अच्छा चलो देखते हैं, डी है कि ए है. इट हैज टू बी ए गाइस, ए होगा. ठीक है, ए है. मोस्ट फेमस, मोस्ट वाइडली एक्सेप्टेड ऑप्शन को हमने सिलेक्ट कर लिया विदाउट एनी क्रिटिकल इवैल्यूएशन. सो ग्रुप थिंक इज द प्रोसेस ऑफ चूजिंग द मोस्ट पॉपुलर और वाइडली एक्सेप्टेड ऑप्शन विदाउट क्रिटिकल इवैल्यूएशन ड्यू टू ग्रुप प्रेशर्स. अब देखो, हमने अभी थोड़ी देर पहले एक क्वेश्चन देखा था वेयर ग्रुप थिंक वाज दैट यू डू अवे विद द असेंटिंग व्यूज. मतलब जो भी नेगेटिव आ रहा था वहां पर उसको हमने हटा दिया. मतलब क्या हो रहा है, वट एवर हैज बीन एक्सेप्टेड बाय मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल वी हैव टेकन दैट पर्टिकुलर डिसीजन. ग्रुप में 5 लोग कह रहे हैं कि भैया ये ए है, ए ऑप्शन इज द बेस्ट वन, एंड देयर आर 2 people who are saying that B option is the best one. So there, rather than listening to those 2 people, we have taken the widely expected opinion and that pressurized kar diya. So that is just because of peer pressure, right? That is not always the best option. So you will see that it has to be option number A. ग्रुप थिंक बोलते हैं उसको, ठीक है. कंसेंसस नहीं है, कंसेंसस में तो सबका इक्वल इवैल्यूएशन होता है, राइट. एवरीबडी इज टेकन द इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी. चलो 37, लेट्स सी व्हाट इज 37 हियर. 37 बताओ क्या होगा. सी, what is the term for a decision that benefits one individual or group at the expense of others? C, zero sum. Zero sum, सबका यही आ रहा है. Absolutely, it has to be zero sum. So zero sum decision is one where the gain of one party is equal to loss of another, resulting in a net outcome of zero. तो एक का पॉजिटिव दूसरे का नेगेटिव, नेट आउटकम क्या हुआ, अंडा. ठीक है. चलो 38, let's see what is 38 here. Which type of decision making style is characterized by focus on big picture thinking and innovation. तो big picture कहाँ पर हो रहा है, and innovation की बात हो रही है. So big picture and innovation, analytical, directive, conceptual behavior. Okay, Rudra says it should be conceptual. Jackin also conceptual. Sushil says analytical. चलो let's see. Conceptual होगा, A नहीं होगा, A नहीं होगा. Analytical is a step by step process, right? So here I hope it's working fine, guys. चलो इसका आंसर बताइए. क्वेश्चन नंबर 39. इंटरनेट का कोई इशू है तो प्लीज बताना, इफ देयर इज एनी ऑडियो वीडियो एनीथिंग इशू हियर. चलो क्वेश्चन नंबर 39 ऑन योर स्क्रीन. 39 का क्या आंसर होगा. विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज अ टेक्निक फॉर एनालाइजिंग द पोटेंशियल इम्पैक्ट ऑफ अनसर्टेन इवेंट्स ऑन अ डिसीजन. 39 is D, heuristic analysis. थर्टी नाइन का डी होगा पक्का. सेंसिटिविटी एनालिसिस होगा जैकिन. इट हैज टू बी बी. So which of the following is analyzing the potential impact of uncertain events? Uncertainty का क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? It will measure the sensitivity. So sensitivity analysis of a technique is analyzing how changes in uncertain variables can impact a certain decision's outcome. That is your sensitivity analysis. That is where you value the changes, right? जो changes होते हैं uncertain situations की वजह से, there you measure that. So that is your sensitivity analysis. So analysis, analyzing the potential impact of uncertain events on a decision. ठीक है, तो इसका आंसर क्या होगा. It has to be option number B. Okay, चलो question number 40. Let's try. Let's see what should be the answer here. What is the term for a decision making approach that involves ranking? ये तो कर सकते हैं. Ranking alternatives from best to worst based on single criteria. रैंकिंग की बात कर रहे हैं. क्वेश्चन नंबर 40. सी, नाम में क्वेश्चन में आंसर छुपा हुआ है ना. So this is the ranking method. So the ranking method involves ordering the alternatives based on a single criteria, right? So they are ranked accordingly based on a single criteria here. ठीक है, C बिल्कुल सही है. चलो क्वेश्चन नंबर 41. Let's have a look at this one. Let's try. 41 क्या होगा. past events. Try to focus on the keywords, guys. यहाँ पर keyword क्या है? Where they tend to focus on past events as being more predictable than they actually were. To perceive the past event. तो past event से हम क्या क्या कौन सा word हमारा past event से related है? Is it overconfidence bias? Is it confirmation bias? Is it the anchoring bias? C होगा confirmation bias. Past events की बात करें ना, A बिल्कुल, इट इज अबाउट द हाइंडसाइट, राइट. तो ए तो आपको यहाँ पर क्वेश्चन पढ़ने से ही समझ में आ जाएगा. व्हेन यू फोकस ऑन द कीवर्ड, वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द पास्ट इवेंट्स हियर. सो हाइंडसाइट बायस इज द टेंडेंसी टू व्यू पास्ट इवेंट्स एज मोर प्रेडिक्टेबल देन दे एक्चुअली वर. ठीक है, तो इसका आंसर क्या होगा? हाइंडसाइट बायस. ओके, चलो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज अ कॉमन बायस that involves greater weight to recent events when making a decision. तो यहाँ पर क्या किया है इन्होंने? recent events को ज्यादा वे कर रहे हैं. So just try to connect it with the options here. Which of the following should be the answer? कौन सा होना चाहिए? Weighing it, that is recent events being weighed higher. Recency, everybody. Recency, right? बिल्कुल. So recency bias is the tendency to give greater weight to recent events while making a decision. तो बिल्कुल सही है, recency bias. Okay? चलो 43 बताइए. What type of decision making model suggests that individuals have limited information and cognitive resources leading to simplifications in decision process? Limited resources and cognitive resources. कौन सा ऐसा मॉडल है जो सजेस्ट करता है दैट पीपल हैव लिमिटेड इंफॉर्मेशन? 42 इज बी. 43 बताओ. चलो 43 बताओ क्या होगा? रैशनल, इंट्यूटिव, बिहेवियरल, बाउंडेड. रुद्र, जैकिन, ओके, निखिला. Absolutely, it has to be the bounded rationality, right? So in bounded rationality, we say that the information available is less. कम limited information होता है. So it suggests that individuals have limited information and cognitive resources leading to simplifications in decision processes. ठीक है, तो आंसर क्या होगा? Bounded rationality model. चलो next question. Question number 44. Let's try this. Which type of decision making style is characterized by a focus on facts and data driven decision? फैक्ट्स पे एंड डेटा ड्रिवन डिसीजन है. ए है बिल्कुल. एनालिटिकल की बात करें, राइट. सो वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द फैक्ट्स एंड फिगर्स एंड डेटा ड्रिवन है आपका. सो इट हैज टू बी एनालिटिकल बिकॉज वी आर एनालाइजिंग द डेटा हियर, है ना. तो आंसर क्या होगा? एनालिटिकल, राइट. हियर व्हाट वी डू हियर इज एम्फसाइज ऑन फैक्ट्स एंड डेटा, है ना. चलो क्वेश्चन नंबर 45. What is a pros and cons list commonly used for in decision making? Pros and cons हम कब देखते हैं, किस चीज में देखते हैं? When do we do it? Decision making में किस चीज का pro and con देख के, that is positives and negatives देख के, what do we do here in decision making? Identifying the alternatives, evaluating the decision criteria. A, evaluating the decision criteria. Absolutely, it has to be A. रुद्र देखो यहाँ पर अगर आइडेंटिफाइंग ऑल्टरनेटिव्स की जगह हम कह देते थे इवेल्युएटिंग द ऑल्टरनेटिव्स, तो भाई सही होता. आइडेंटिफाई नहीं कर रहे हैं हम यहाँ पर, प्रोज एंड कॉन्स के बेसिस पे वी आर इवेल्युएटिंग हियर, राइट, दैट विच इज बेटर विच इज बैड, है ना. कौन सा अच्छा है कौन सा बुरा है, हम इवेल्युएशन की बात करें. वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट इवेल्युएशन हियर. सो इवेल्युएशन द डिसीजन क्राइटेरिया और इवेल्युएशन ऑफ द ऑल्टरनेटिव्स अवेलेबल, दैट शुड बी द आंसर हियर. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पर क्या होगा? फर्स्ट वाला होगा, इवेल्युएटिंग डिसीजन क्राइटेरिया. सो अ प्रोज एंड कॉन्स लिस्ट इज टिपिकली यूज्ड टू इवेल्युएट decision criteria by listing the advantages and disadvantages of each alternative. ठीक है, तो सारे alternatives के pros and cons हम देखते हैं इस particular step में when we evaluate the decision criteria. चलो 46, let's see, let's try this. B availability heuristic. B बिल्कुल सही होगा. Anchoring क्या था? The first information that was available, right? Anchoring bias was the one that is when you rely too much on the first available information. जो सबसे पहले मिला उस पे rely हो गए. Availability heuristic क्या है? The most readily available, जो सबसे ज्यादा available data है उस पे हमने कर लिया है ना. So we are relying on the most readily available information. So it is the tendency to rely on readily available information when making the decisions here. So that is your availability heuristic. Okay. 47. Let's try. Let's see. क्या होगा इसका आंसर? What is the term for a group decision making technique where members aim to reach a consensus through discussion and compromise? D. Consensus. Consensus. बिल्कुल सही है. So it has to be consensus, right? We are trying to reach a consensus through discussions and compromise. So it is where people reach the agreement, right? They try to reach agreement through discussing and compromising here, right? That is your consensus decision. Okay. Chalo, 48. Let's try. This is very easy. बहुत easy सा question है. सबका आंसर पर होना चाहिए. Let's see. Very easy this one. A. Win-win. Win-win everybody. Rudra, Sushil, Nikhila. बिल्कुल सही है. It has to be a win-win situation, right? It is benefiting all the parties involved in here. So yes, it is a win-win decision, right? So benefits all the parties involved. Okay, win-win decision बिल्कुल सही है. 49. Let's try. Which of the following is not a common decision-making style? Analytical, directive, conceptual, persuasive. 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 बिल्कुल. So it is your persuasive, right? Persuasive is not a common decision making style in the context of the four styles. And four styles कौन से होते हैं? Analytical, directive, conceptual and behavioral, right? We have already seen all of them, है ना? चलो next question. Question number 50. Let's try. 50 बताओ. Option C. So tendency to reject information that does not align with pre-existing beliefs or decision. Anchor, hindsight, confirmation, recency. Confirmation. Confirmation. तो हमारे existing beliefs and thoughts से वो match नहीं किया, so we have rejected that particular piece of information. So that is your confirmation bias. Absolutely, है ना? So confirmation bias is the tendency to reject information that does not align with any pre-existing beliefs or decisions that we have. ठीक है? So absolutely right. बिल्कुल सही है. Confirmation bias. चलो question number 51. Let's try. So we have 100 questions for today. Half of them are done. Now next half. Chalo 51. Let's try this. Okay, A. Optimism bias. Very easy. नाम से ही पता चल रहा है ना? So what is the term for the tendency to believe that a decision will lead to a positive outcome regardless of the odds? So we are being optimistic here, right? Optimism की बात कर रहे हैं. So absolutely it has to be optimism bias. बिल्कुल निखिला, रुद्र, सुशील बिल्कुल सही है. So it has to be optimism bias where we believe that a decision will have a positive outcome even when the odds are not in our favor. ठीक है? चलो 52. Let's see what should be the answer for 52 here. 52 बताइए, what should be the answer? In the context of decision making, what does escalation of commitment refers to? Escalation of commitment का क्या मतलब होता है when we are talking about decision making here? B. Okay, Rudra says it should be B. Nikhila says D, the method of resolving conflicts. No, Nikhila. We are talking about escalation of commitment. Okay. Escalation of commitment का क्या मतलब होता है? It is actually the tendency to continue investing in a decision even when it is failing, right? चाहे वो फेल भी हो रहा है फिर भी हम उसमें टाइम दे रहे हैं, right? Because we are committed to it, है ना? So commitment, escalation of commitment, इस हद तक का commitment है that we are continuing to invest in that particular decision, है ना? तो जब हम बहुत ज्यादा कमिटेड होते हैं किसी चीज के लिए और उसके लिए इतनी मेहनत करते हैं that we just try to invest in it, we invest time and money and labor, right? So that is your escalation of commitment. ठीक है, चलो next question. What is the term for a group decision making technique that involves the systematic collection of individual opinions without face to face interaction? चलो यहाँ पर फेस टू फेस इंटरैक्शन नहीं है. So what is the term for a group discussion decision making thinking technique that involves systematic collection of individuals without face to face interaction? इनमें से बताओ. ग्रुप थिंक है, ग्रुप थिंक में वी नो दैट इट इज गोइंग टू बी फेस टू फेस. ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग में भी वी हैव टू बी फेस टू फेस बिकॉज एवरीबडी इज सीटेड इन दैट एरिया एंड दे गिव इंडिविजुअल आइडियाज. Consensus may be you have to have this one, that is you will be seated together and the group tries to reach to a consensus, right? Delphi method on the other hand, you don't need to have a physical presence, right? So Delphi method will be the one where you do not have a face to face interaction. So the Delphi method involves systematically collecting individual opinions without face to face interaction, often in a series of rounds. ठीक है, तो इसका आंसर क्या होगा? Delphi method होगा. चलो next question, let's try. Which of the following is a technique for evaluating decision criteria by assigning scores to alternatives based on predefined factor? तो कहां पर हम ऐसा करते हैं, किसमें करते हैं? एग्जाम्पल वोटिंग. बिल्कुल रुद्र, दैट इज राइट. गुड एग्जाम्पल. चलो इसका आंसर बताइए. बाय असाइनिंग स्कोर्स टू ऑल्टरनेटिव बेस्ड ऑन प्री डिफाइंड फैक्टर. स्वॉट में तो रुद्र होता है स्ट्रेंथ, वीकनेस, अपॉर्चुनिटीज एंड थ्रेट की बात करते हैं. डू वी असाइन स्कोर्स इन देयर? हम उसमें स्कोर असाइन करते हैं क्या? डिसीजन मैट्रिक्स होगा ना. पैरेटो होता है, डिसीजन मैट्रिक्स होता है. दिस इज योर डिसीजन मैट्रिक्स गाइस, वेयर यू असाइन पर्टिकुलर स्कोर्स, राइट? तो हर एक क्राइटेरिया के लिए यू असाइन अ स्कोर. A decision matrix is a technique for evaluating a decision criteria by assigning scores to alternatives based on predefined factors. Like let's say if I am interviewing a person, right, I'll give certain criteria कि उसका let's say what was his how much confident he was, what was the level of knowledge he had, right? His presentation skills, his communication skills. So I will set certain criteria for deciding whether I will be selecting that person for the role or not. And then I'll evaluate him by giving certain scores in there. So that is a kind of decision matrix where there will be certain set criteria. And on those set criteria, I'll be evaluating certain people. So people, person 1, person 2, person 3 and person 4. तो इस तरह का आपका पूरा एक मैट्रिक्स बन जाता है ना. ब्यूटी शो कंपटीशन, बिल्कुल रुद्र, वो भी आप एग्जांपल ले सकते हो इन अ ब्यूटी कॉन्टेस्ट, राइट? सो यू आर इवैल्यूएटिंग पीपल ऑन डिफरेंट सेट क्राइटेरिया, है ना. तो वहां पर आपको स्कोर्स असाइन करने होते हैं. सो इट हैज टू बी अ डिसीजन मैट्रिक्स. ओके, चलो क्वेश्चन नंबर 55. लेट्स ट्राई, लेट्स सी व्हाट इज डिसीजन डायलेमा. डिसीजन डायलेमा नाम से ही समझ में आ रहा है डायलेमा इसमें. A situation where there is only one possible choice. अब one possible choice है तो dilemma क्यों होगा? This cannot be the answer. A situation where there is no good or clear choice, ये हो सकता है. A decision made without careful consideration, नहीं, ये तो नहीं होना चाहिए. A situation that requires a simple yes or no answer, again no. So it has to be option number B. B होगा. A decision dilemma is a situation where there is no good or clear choice among the available alternative. और इसी की वजह से भाई dilemma हो रहा है ना, that which option to select. चलो question number 56. Let's try. 56 बताइए. What is the term for the cognitive bias where individuals tend to see their past decisions as more accurate or informed than they actually were at that particular time. अभी किया था क्या हमने ये वाला क्वेश्चन? वी हैव, आई गेस वी हैव डन, है ना? हाइंडसाइट, बिल्कुल हाइंडसाइट था ना इसका आंसर. यस, हाइंडसाइट. चलो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, लेट्स हैव अ लुक एट दिस वन. So which step is the in the decision making process involves gathering information, analyzing data and comparing alternatives? ये बताइए, which is the step where we gather information, analyze the data and compare the alternatives? Evaluating alternatives, evaluation, Jackal, Rudra also evaluation. बिल्कुल. सो हियर वी आर इवेल्युएटिंग, राइट? जब हम इवेल्युएट कर रहे हैं then only we are gathering information, we are analyzing all the data and then we are comparing the alternatives, that is which is the best one, right? So evaluating alternatives involves gathering, analyzing and compare the available option. ठीक है, चलो. which of the following is not a common barrier to effective decision making? So it is not a common barrier. ओके, चलो जल्दी से इसका आंसर बताइए. विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज नॉट अ कॉमन बैरियर टू इफेक्टिव डिसीजन मेकिंग? लैक ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन, ग्रुप कोलैबोरेशन, कॉग्निटिव बायस, टाइम कंस्ट्रेंट. क्या होगा इसका आंसर? 58 बी. ओके, रुद्र सेज बी. बाकी सबका बताइए, बाकी लोग, निखिला, जैकिन, एवरीबडी गेटिंग बी. Group collaboration, बिल्कुल. So it has to be group collaboration, right? Because it is not a barrier here. यहाँ पे तो barrier के लिए पूछा है ना. which of the following is not a barrier? So group collaboration is not a barrier. It is generally a facilitator. तो जब बहुत सारे लोग होते हैं, more readily information will be available. ज्यादा creative ideas होंगे ना. It is not a barrier. It is actually a facilitator for effective decision making. Okay. चलो next one, 59. 59 बताइए, what should be 59 here? 59 का क्या होगा? What is the term for the tendency to judge the probability of an event based on how similar it is to a prototype? Similarity की बात कर रहा है D. So किसी से representative की बात कर रहा है, राइट? मतलब उससे कितना similarity है, कितना representativeness है ना? ऐसा ही कुछ होगा ना. मतलब अगर इसको हम कंपेयर भी करने की कोशिश करेंगे. एंकरिंग क्या होता है जैकिन? एंकरिंग बायस इज समथिंग वेयर यू जंप ऑन टू द फर्स्ट अवेलेबल इंफॉर्मेशन, है ना? So whatever was the first available information, on the basis of that available information you take the decision. That is your anchoring bias. आप उसको एंकर बना लेते हो जो सबसे पहले, मतलब जैसे डूबते को तिनके का सहारा होता है ना. So that kind of thing. So anchoring. So that means you just jump on to the readily the first information that is available to you. So that is anchoring bias. Here representativeness is that you judge the probability of the event based on how similar it is to a prototype. Prototype मतलब आप उसी prototype, मतलब जैसे पहले ऐसा कुछ हो चुका है and we are just trying कि अभी भी ऐसा ही होगा, right? So what will happen in that case? So representativeness heuristic is the tendency to judge the probability of an event based on how similar it is to prototype or a stereotype, है ना? तो stereotyping आ जाती है यहाँ पर. चलो question number 60, let's try. Let's see what should be the answer for this. What is the term for the phenomenon where individuals make decisions based on what they believe they should do rather than what they want to do? ये तो पढ़ के ही समझ में आ जाएगा. What is the term for the phenomenon where individuals make decisions based on what they believe they should do rather than they want to do? B. Moral dilemma. Moral. अच्छा देखो यहाँ पर ये बताओ, should आ रहा है, should do and want do. Should और want में प्रॉब्लम है ना. There is a problem between what should they do and what they want to do, है ना? जैसे हमारे पेरेंट्स चाहते हैं हम डॉक्टर बने, लेकिन हम डॉक्टर नहीं बनना चाहते, हम स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन बनना चाहते हैं. So that is this dilemma, right? So should and want dilemma here. Should क्या करना चाहिए और हम क्या करना चाहते हैं, है ना? So it has to be your option number A. The should want dilemma refers to the conflict between what individuals believe they should do and what they want to do. ठीक है, ये dilemma आपका should want dilemma कहलाता है. Okay, चलो 61. Let's see. What is the term for a decision-making approach that involves selecting the alternative that results in the least negative outcome? Least negative, minimax. Least negative मतलब सबसे कम नेगेटिव है ना, मैक्सिमिन होगा, उसको मैक्सिमिन कहते हैं, मिनी मैक्स नहीं कहते. ठीक है, सो हियर मैक्सिमिन इज अ डिसीजन मेकिंग अप्रोच that involves selecting the alternative that results in least negative outcome. ठीक है, lowest negative outcome जब होता है that is your maximin. Okay, maximin कहते हैं. Okay, चलो 62. Excuse me. चलो 62 बताओ. Which decision making approach focuses on maximizing the potential benefit or gain when evaluating alternatives? ये बताओ 62. So here we are trying what? Focusing on maximizing the potential benefit or gain when evaluating alternatives. Maximax, is it? Maximax? Absolutely. So Maximax approach focuses on maximizing the potential benefit or gain when we are evaluating the alternatives. तो बिल्कुल सही है, it has to be Maximax approach. Okay, चलो 63. ये बताइए, what is the term for the cognitive bias where individuals overvalue the importance of the information they have and undervalue the information they do not have? So they are overvaluing the information they have and they are undervaluing the information which they do not have. क्या होगा? एंकरिंग तो नहीं होता, राइट? एंकरिंग इज द फर्स्ट अवेलेबल इंफॉर्मेशन. कंफर्मेशन भी नहीं होता. इंफॉर्मेशन बायस, ओमिशन बायस. ओमिशन बायस, चलो रुद्र कह रहे हैं ओमिशन बायस होगा. एनीवन एल्स? क्वेश्चन नंबर 63. चलो, it is information bias. Information bias क्या होता है? Because we have information availability as well, रुद्र, है ना? So information bias is the tendency where we overvalue the available information and undervalue the missing information, है ना? So this is your information bias, जहाँ पर हम जो information हमारे पास है उसको overvalue करते हैं and what we do not have we think उसकी जरूरत नहीं है and we undervalue that particular information here, right? So that is said to be information bias. Okay, चलो 64 बताइए, what is 64? What is the term for a decision that has an equal outcome for all the parties involved? Equal outcome for all the parties. Win-win, lose-lose, zero-sum, neutral. Neutral, Nicola says it should be neutral. चलो न्यूट्रल होगा. रुद्र भी कह रहे हैं न्यूट्रल होगा. बिल्कुल, it has to be neutral, right? Win-win is both are having actual equal, मतलब दोनों जीत रहे हैं, right? Lose-lose is that you have to choose between two options which are equally bad. Zero sum हमने देखा, one for one, it is good for somebody, bad for somebody else, right? So the negative is zero, the total is zero. But neutral is, it can be good also, it can be bad also, it is equal outcome for both the parties involved in here. So this is your neutral decision where we have one as equal outcome for all the parties involved. ठीक है, neutral. चलो 65. Let's try 65. In decision making, what is the term group polarization? Group polarization का क्या मतलब होता है? B. Okay, Rudra says B. Anyone else? Anybody else? चलो B बिल्कुल सही है. So you can see it is the tendency for group members to take more extreme positions after the discussion. So you can see here they take extreme positions after discussion, often in the context of decision making, right? So B would be the right answer here. चलो question number 66. Let's try. 66 क्या होगा? What is the term for a decision making tool that visually represents the relative importance of different criteria and their associated alternatives? So relative importance of different criteria and their associated alternatives. क्या होगा? What will be the answer here? Relative importance कहाँ पर दिखाई जाती है? Decision matrix we have already seen that it is about giving the मतलब उसमें आप rank देते हो ना, marks देते हो, score देते हो. Decision matrix में you evaluate the scores for each of the characteristics. Which of the following will be there? B. Pareto. चलो इसका आंसर क्या होगा? Pareto chart होगा. Okay, a Pareto chart visually represents the relative importance of different criteria and their associated alternatives. That is said to be a Pareto chart. ठीक है, चलो 67. Let's try 67. What is the term for a group decision making technique where members share creative ideas and solutions without criticism? क्या होगा? सी. ओके, ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग. बिल्कुल. सो दे शेयर क्रिएटिव आइडियाज एंड सॉल्यूशंस विदाउट एनी क्रिटिसिज्म देयर. दैट इज योर ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग, राइट? So brainstorming is a group decision making technique where members share creative ideas and solutions without any criticism, right? So it has to be C. Delphi नहीं होता निखिला. Delphi में क्या होता है? We do not have the physical presence in there, right? That is the anonymous kind of information sharing. So that is anonymous. They are not present at the same place. So creative ideas and solutions without criticism, where members are doing this, that is your group task, and this is your brainstorming. Brainstorming is a group task which is done physically there. Okay, chalo next question. Question number 68. Let's try this. What is the term for a decision making technique that involves comparing the pros and cons of each alternative to make a decision? प्रोज एंड कॉन्स को हम वे करने के लिए कौन सा ऑल्टरनेटिव यूज करते हैं? विच इज दैट पर्टिकुलर डिसीजन मेकिंग टेक्निक? प्रोज एंड कॉन्स कहाँ पर देखते हैं? SWOT का फुल फॉर्म क्या होता है? स्ट्रेंथ, वीकनेस, अपॉर्चुनिटी एंड थ्रेट, राइट? So that is actually weighing all the pros and cons of a particular decision, right? So it has to be what? It has to be the SWOT analysis. So SWOT analysis is the decision making technique that involves comparing the strengths, weakness, opportunities and threats of each alternative. That means we are weighing its pros and cons, its benefits and disadvantages, है ना? So it has to be your SWOT analysis. ठीक है? SWOT analysis would be the right answer. चलो 69. Let's try. 69 का आंसर बताइए. Which step in the decision making process involves identifying and defining the problem or decision to be made? What should be the answer here? क्या आएगा आंसर? चलो ठीक है, लेट्स चेक. देखते हैं. Identifying alternatives, evaluating alternatives. What we are doing here? Involving identifying and defining the problem of the decision that has to be made. So that is the first step. फर्स्ट स्टेप में क्या करते हैं, वी डिफाइन द प्रॉब्लम, वी ट्राई टू आइडेंटिफाई एंड डिफाइन द प्रॉब्लम or the decision that has to be made, right? So that is making the decision here. So you can see decision identification. So we will be deciding which is the decision that needs to be made here, right? So decision identification. Okay, the first step in decision making is identifying and defining the problem or the decision to be made. So that is decision identification. D होगा, A नहीं होगा. A is identifying alternatives. That is the second after this. ठीक है, पहले आपने problem define कर लिया and then you have to take the identifying of alternatives and making the decision that comes after that. मतलब आपने सारे process मतलब evaluate कर लिए. Once you have evaluated, then on the basis of pros and cons you will be applying the alternative and then you will be applying the decision. ठीक है, उस तरह से होता है. चलो, next question number 70. Let's try. Decision fatigue, ये तो बता सकते हैं. Just by going through the options we can answer this. A very easy question. Fatigue का क्या मतलब होता है? B, very easy. Mental exhaustion that can result from making numerous decisions. Absolutely. निकला नहीं. Inability to make decisions नहीं होगा. Decision fatigue means mental exhaustion, right? Fatigue से relate करो ना. Mental exhaustion that can result from making numerous decisions, right? So here you can see it is the decision fatigue. This is the mental exhaustion that can result from making numerous decisions. बहुत सारे decisions लेने की वजह से जो fatigue आता है, the mental exhaustion that happens, that is the one that is your decision fatigue. Okay, option number B. Chalo, 71. Let's try. 71 बताइए, what should be the answer for 71? What is the term for the cognitive bias where individuals overvalue information that supports their pre-existing belief? Pre-existing belief को support करने वाले को क्या कहते हैं, right? That is the cognitive bias where individuals overvalue the information that supports their pre-existing belief. Anchoring bias, confirmation bias, availability heuristic, hindsight bias. Okay, availability heuristic. It has to be confirmation bias. Confirmation bias होगा. Confirmation bias is the cognitive bias where individuals overvalue information that supports their pre-existing belief. ठीक है, उनके pre-existing belief को जो support करता है, उनको confirm करता है, that is the bias which is supporting whatever they already believe in. ठीक है, that is said to be the confirmation bias. Option number B. Okay, availability bias क्या था? Availability bias was something which was readily available, right? The data which is readily available, the information which is readily available, उस पे ज़्यादा rely करने को we say it is the availability heuristic, right? Availability bias, है ना? Hindsight bias, that is whatever is the prior information, हम पुराना information, past experiences देखते थे, that is your hindsight bias, right? उसको ज़्यादा value करते थे. Anchor bias, whatever is the first piece of information that is there, so on that basis you are making the decision. Okay, chalo, question number 72. Let's try this. Let's see what should be the answer here. 72. Which type of decision making style is characterized by focus on logical analysis and objective analysis evaluation of alternatives? Analytical, directive, conceptual, behavior. Logical analysis and objective evaluation of alternatives. A, easy. Analytical, bilkul. You can see it is about logical analysis and object evaluation, right? So analytically hai. So it is about focusing on logical analysis and objective evaluation of a particular alternative. Chalo, what is the term for group decision making technique that involves open discussion and debate to reach a decision? Chalo, ye batao, which of the following is an decision making technique that involves open discussion and debate to reach a particular decision? Consensus, Delphi, brainstorming, groupthink. Okay, consensus. So we are reaching a particular destination decision, right? We are reaching a particular decision. That is your consensus. Absolutely. So consensus decision is talking in a group, discussing within a group, and then you are trying to reach a particular consensus, or you are trying to reach a particular decision, right? एक particular आपका decide कर लेगा ये group. So that is after thorough discussion and debating, right? But you reach to a consensus. So that is your consensus decision. So it is involving open discussion and debate to reach a final decision. ठीक है? चलो 74. What should be 74 here? 74 बताओ. Which of the following is a common decision making barrier related to an excessive focus on the short term rather than long term consequences? इसका आंसर बताइए. Which of the following is a barrier related to excessive focus on the short term rather than long term consequences? B. Temporal discounting. बाकी तीनों तो हम एलिमिनेट कर सकते हैं, राइट? इवन इफ वी डू नॉट नो टेम्पोरल डिस्काउंटिंग, वी नो व्हाट इज कंफर्मेशन बायस, we know what is anchoring bias, we know what is hindsight bias. So yes, we are having now temporal bias, right? तो इसको एलिमिनेट करके कर सकते थे. So temporal discounting is a common decision making barrier that involves an excessive focus on short term rather than long term consequences, right? That is your temporal bias. ठीक है? चलो 75 बताइए. What should be 75 in here? What is the term for a group decision making technique that involves anonymous feedback and iterative rounds of opinion collection? Iterative है, anonymous feedback है. So which is that one? Groupthink is not anonymous, brainstorming is not anonymous, consensus is again not anonymous. That means you are left with what? What should be the answer here, guys, for 75? A. Groupthink. Anonymous feedback की बात हो रही है रुद्र. It has to be an anonymous feedback. Delphi, that is Delphi method, right? In Delphi method we have anonymous in here, right? Anonymous आपका कब होता है feedback? When we have a Delphi method. So in Delphi method it involves anonymous feedback and iterative rounds of opinion collection in group decision making. आपका group think, brainstorming, consensus, they are done in a group, right? वो तो वहां पर physically presence में ही होता है. वो anonymous कैसे हो सकता है, right? So in Delphi method it is not necessary to be physically present there. It is a feedback of iterative rounds. बहुत सारे rounds होते हैं and the opinion is collected and then the decision is being made. ठीक है? चलो 76. And now onwards, guys, 76 onwards, the questions, most of them are the ones which we have taken from your 2022 and 2021 Nabard paper, right? तो ये questions आपके paper से उठाए गए हैं, exact questions. चलो let's try. Which of the following is a quantitative method of decision making? इनमें से कौन सा क्वांटिटेटिव मेथड है डिसीजन मेकिंग का? So which of the following is a quantitative method? E. Follow standard procedure. No, Rudra, it will be PERT. Okay, PERT is what? PERT is performance evaluation review technique, right? So this is a quantitative method of decision making. Rest of them are qualitative in nature, right? तो बाकी जो ये चार है ना, रूल ऑफ थंब, साइकोलॉजिकल एनालिसिस, डिसीजन मेकिंग बाय क्रिएटिविटी, फॉलोइंग स्टैंडर्ड प्रोसीजर, दे आर ऑल क्वालिटेटिव इन नेचर. ये आपके क्वालिटेटिव है, राइट? क्वालिटेटिव इन नेचर. And this is the one which is quantitative और इसका full form क्या होता है? Performance Evaluation Review Technique, PERT. Okay? चलो 77 बताइए. What should be the answer for 77? What should be the answer for 77? Tendency to see a particular situation or issue from chosen perspective influencing our ability to understand alternative or conflicting points of view or alternatives? Selective perception, selective perception, E. So tendency to see a particular situation or issue from chosen perspective, influencing our ability to understand alternative or conflicting points of view or alternatives is called selective perception. चलो देख लेते हैं. Absolutely, that is the right answer. Selective perception. So selective perception क्या होता है? It happens when an individual focuses on specific information that aligns with or strengthens their pre-existing beliefs while disregarding information that contradicts those beliefs. This concept is closely associated with the confirmation bias. तो आपका जो selective perception होता है ना, that is closely related with the confirmation bias. इसमें क्या होता है? When an individual focuses a lot on specific information that is strengthening with his own beliefs, right? तो जो उसके beliefs को support करता है, he gives more weightage to that particular thing. So you can see this is your selective perception. Perception में selectivity हो रही है ना? चलो 78, let's see. 78 क्या होगा? Which of the following problem solving tools is a visual means of displaying the sequence of activities and decisions that occur in a system or process over time? So which of the following is a tool which is displaying the sequence of activities or decisions that occur in a system over a process of over time? क्या होगा इसका आंसर? विजुअल मीन्स है. ठीक है, पहली बात तो ये देखो, विजुअल मीन्स ऑफ डिस्प्ले. तो विजुअल मीन्स ऑफ डिस्प्ले है, मतलब यहाँ पर ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग या बेंचमार्किंग या ये 5 वाइज एनालिसिस ये सब नहीं हो सकता, राइट? विजुअल मीन्स ऑफ डिस्प्ले क्या होता है? फ्लो चार्ट होता है. फ्लो चार्ट इज अ विजुअल रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ द डिसीजन दैट यू हैव टेकन, है ना? तो आंसर क्या होगा इसका? सी होगा, फ्लो चार्ट. सो फ्लो चार्ट इज व्हाट? अ फ्लो चार्ट इज अ विजुअल representation illustrating the order of actions or events within a process or system. It employs various shapes and symbols to detect the components and connections among them. For instance, a rectangular shape signifies a task or operation, right? तो ऐसा एक बॉक्स बना दो, उसमें आपका टास्क लिख दो, right? So that is this one which shows a task or operation that has to be performed. A diamond shape signifies a decision or condition. जैसे आपका यहाँ पर if, right? अगर ऐसा हुआ, इफ होगा, यस होगा तो यहाँ पर जाएगा, नो होगा तो ये होगा, राइट? सो व्हेन वी हैव अ यस और नो और टाइप ऑफ दैट, सो दैट इज शोन बाय डिसीजन. एरो रिप्रेजेंट्स द डायरेक्शन ऑफ प्रोग्रेशन. तो यहाँ पर जैसे यहाँ पर एरो दिखा रहा है, सो मतलब यहाँ से वी आर गोइंग टू द वन दैट इज बॉटम. Okay, flowcharts are valuable tools for dissecting integrate problem into manageable and sequential steps, following the facilitating their organization in a logical manner. ठीक है, तो आंसर क्या होगा? फ्लो चार्ट होगा. चलो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन ऑन योर स्क्रीन, लेट्स हैव अ लुक एट दिस वन. लेट्स ट्राई. इसका आंसर बताइए. व्हाट शुड बी द आंसर हियर? One of the barriers to good decision making is setting out to solve wrong problem because we have created a mental framework for our decision with little thought that causes us to overlook the best option or lose sight of important objectives. This is called what? क्या हो गया यहाँ पर? हमने क्या किया? हमने कुछ चीजें नहीं देखी मेंटल फ्रेमवर्क की वजह से, बिकॉज वी हैव क्रिएटेड अ मेंटल फ्रेमवर्क फॉर आवर डिसीजन. वी वर नॉट एबल टू फोकस ऑन द बेटर पार्ट्स, राइट? So solve we have making is setting out to solve wrong problem because we have created a mental framework for our decision. तो हमने गलत प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर लिया, गलत सिचुएशन को इवैल्यूएट कर रहे हैं बिकॉज वी हैड अ मेंटल फ्रेमवर्क फॉर आवर डिसीजन with little thought that caused us to overlook the best option. तो हमने best option को overlook कर दिया and we have lost sight of important objectives. So what is this particular thing called? B. Frame blindness. बिल्कुल, that will be frame blindness, right? So frame blindness आपका बिल्कुल सही है. Now this is a book titled Decision Traps. Russo and Shoemaker have outlined 10 frequently encountered barriers that hinders our ability to make sound decisions. One of the traps is frame blindness, a pitfall that can be circumvented by gaining a better understanding of frames. ठीक है, तो इसका आंसर क्या है? ऑप्शन नंबर बी है. चलिए क्वेश्चन नंबर 80. लेट्स सी. The types of data analytics which is used to make forecasts about future trends and answer the question what might happen in the future is called. फ्यूचर की बात कर रहे हैं, वी आर ट्राइंग टू प्रिडिक्ट समथिंग. सो व्हाट शुड बी द आंसर? What should be the answer here for 80? 80 का आंसर क्या आना चाहिए? Anybody? इसका आंसर क्या होगा? C होगा, right? We are predicting. So predictive analysis, right? Predictive analytics. So predictive analytics is the practice of utilizing data to anticipate the future trends and occurrences. It relies on historical data to project possible scenarios which can inform and guide strategic decision making. So yes, it is the predictive analysis. बिल्कुल सही है नवीना रुद्र, सही है निखिला, absolutely C would be the right answer. चलो 81 बताइए. Most judgmental problems are solved by. Most judgmental problems की बात कर रहे हैं. Most judgmental problems are solved by what? 81. Tell me what should be the value for 81 here. 81 का आंसर क्या होगा? Anybody? It has to be option number A, that is use of good judgment and minimizing possibility of undesired outcome. अब यहाँ पर judgmental problem को अगर हम वो कर रहे हैं, ensure करें, if we have to solve a judgmental problem, that means we have to make sure कि हम अच्छा judgment ले, we use good judgment and minimize the possibility of undesirable outcome, right? ये तो हम ऐसे ही पढ़ के कर सकते हैं ना. This is your normal this one, that is इसके लिए कोई थ्योरी की जरूरत नहीं है. This is just normal common sense, right? Most judgmental problems are solved by using good judgment and minimizing possibility of undesired outcomes, है ना? So this is your option number A. Okay, ठीक है. चलो next question. RCA. RCA क्या है? Root cause analysis. So RCA, which of the following is the cause in case people did something wrong or did not do something that was needed? इसका बताइए. So in root cause analysis, which of the following is the cause in case people did something wrong or did not do something that was needed? What should be the answer here? यहाँ पर people, we are talking about people, right? So cause in case people did something wrong, अब people are doing something wrong or did not do something that was needed, कौन सा होना चाहिए? Physical cause, organizational, statutory, legislative, human cause. Human cause होना चाहिए ना, because we are talking about people. लोगों ने क्या किया, क्या गलत किया या फिर क्या सही नहीं किया, right? We are talking about people here, so it has to be what? It has to be the human cause, right? Human cause क्या होता है? As per RCA, it is widely employed technique that assists in determining why problem originally occurred. RCA categorizes causes into three fundamental types. One of them is physical cause, one of them is human cause, another is organizational cause. Naveen, what is said here? We are saying that what did the people do or what they did not do, right? So people did something wrong or they did not do something that was required. So here we are talking about people. So if we are talking about people, you can relate it to the one that is option number E, because that is the only one which is talking about human intervention here, right? Others are not talking about human intervention. So as per RCA, we have three things, that is physical cause, human cause and organizational cause, right? I hope this is clear. Chalo, next question on your screen, question number 83. Effective communication during decision making process will help to minimize dash. So effective communication during decision making process will help to minimize. Will it help to minimize support and cooperation? No, this is positive. If this is effective communication, that means it should reduce, it should minimize something which is negative in nature, right? Something out of which is negative in nature. Interest and receptivity, this is positive. Necessary support for changes, again positive. Harmony and agreement, that is again positive. So all these are positive things in here. The only thing which is negative is resistance and negative emotions. So you can see when you have effective communication, that means it will minimize what? It will minimize resistance and negative emotions. You know? So the answer has to be option number A. Are we clear, everybody? Clear? Chalo. Question number 84. What is 84? Overconfidence about our judgments, abilities, prediction accuracy. As we remember our successes and quickly forget our errors is called dash. Let's see. Overconfidence about our judgment abilities and prediction accuracy. As we remember our successes and quickly forget our errors is called what? Overconfidence, estimating, anchoring, information overdose, confirming. Overconfidence, Rudra Nikhila. Okay, yes, absolutely. You can see that is the overconfidence trap, right? So, overconfidence trap is what you can see. Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky found that individuals are influenced by overconfidence bias, hindsight bias, anchoring bias, framing bias, and escalation of commitment. Overconfidence bias occurs when individuals overestimate their ability to predict the future events here, right? So that is said to be overconfidence bias or overconfidence trap. I hope this is clear, right? So option A, absolutely right. Chalo, 85. Let's see. Let's try 85. What should be the answer for 85 here? Which of the following decision making styles is suitable for a leader where there are more than one right answer and where cause effect relationship is discoverable but not immediately apparent? So, which of the following decision making styles is suitable for a leader where there are more than one right answer and where cause and effect relationship is discoverable but not immediately apparent? Option number B, conceptual style. C, behavioral. Okay, let's check. So it has to be option number D, that is analytical, right? Let's understand why. Analytical decision makers thoroughly assess a wealth of information before decision making. Analytical leaders, for instance, depends on direct observation data and concrete facts to underpin their choices. So here, because you can see we have multiple possible answers, right? We have more than one right answer. That means you have to weigh now. You have to weigh through the alternatives, that which is the one that is going to be the best possible alternative. That means you have to analyze the data. You will be analyzing the pros and cons. You will be weighing the data here, right? So that is your analytical approach here. So these decision makers exhibit a substantial tolerance for ambiguity and possess strong adaptability skills, but they often prefer to retain control over most facets of the decision making process. This approach of decision making is comprehensive but can be time consuming, right? So this is a time consuming method, although it is very analytical in nature, so absolutely gives a good result. I hope this is clear, everybody. So question number 85 would be your option number D. Okay, chalo, question number 86. Let's try. Which of the following techniques of decision making involves a process for arriving at an evaluation of decisions in which selected individuals are asked to respond individually to key questions about a problem? They are then are provided with a summary of responses of all members have given and invited to respond again. What is that one said? What is that one? Delphi, brainstorming, nominal group, bounded rationality, or multi-voting? Which one, guys? Anyone? Bounded rationality. Bounded rationality was a kind of bias where we had a selective kind of information, right? Where we were bounded by our thoughts and everything. That is, we think this is right, so we are having a selective kind of approach. वो था ना bounded rationality. Nicola says multi-voting. Okay, it has to be option number A, Delphi technique. Delphi technique में क्या होता है? Again, guys, understand Delphi technique is where we have anonymous voting, but again, everybody is made to be well aware of all the votings that has been done, not the one that is who has voted for who, right? That is not happening. Just say we take the example of voting here, let's say elections here. So everybody finally comes to know that who will be the prime minister, but we do not know who has voted for who, right? So Delphi method, also referred to as talk estimate technique (ETE), is a systematic and qualitative forecasting method that involves gathering expert opinions through multiple rounds of questions. Okay, so what happens here in this? Selected individuals are asked to respond individually to key questions about a problem. Then they are provided with a summary of all the responses of the members and invited to respond again. So that is your Delphi technique. Okay, this actually is your Delphi technique. Chalo, question number 87. Let's try. Let's see. So 87 is what? Which type of a decision would it be when an employee in a company is working out a schedule to ensure that all the sales staff arrive at the company conference on time? Is it a programmed decision? Is it a non-programmed decision? Is it a strategic decision, personal decision, or a major decision? We have already seen programmed and non-programmed decision. Programmed decision are the ones that are on the basis of daily routine tasks. Non-programmed decisions are something which happens only once, are unique decisions which have long-term repercussions, like taking some acquisition, opening a new branch, or anything which is talking about the finances, handling the finances of the particular organization. Non-programmed decisions, right? So this particular thing, that the sales staff is arriving at the company conference on time or not, this is going to be a programmed decision that happens every day, right? So it has to be A, right? Because programmed decision involves the decisions that already have a plan or rule in place and is used to reach a solution or conclusion. So it happens on a daily basis. You do not have to worry about it a lot. It is happening on a regular basis. So it is already in position, right? There is a particular plan for it. It already happens on a daily basis. तो उसके बारे में ज़्यादा सोचने की ज़रूरत नहीं होती, right? You don't need to think a lot on this particular type of decision making. So that is your option number A. That is your programmed kind of decisions. Okay. Chalo. Question number 88. Let's try this. Let's see 88. What should be the answer? A manager's freedom to make totally rational decisions is restricted by internal and external environment factors and by the manager's own characteristics and decision making ability. This concept is known as internal and external environment. Subjective rationality, limited rationality. It has to be option number C, that is bounded rationality, right? So bounded rationality क्या होता है? It is a concept introduced by Simon, questions the idea of human rationality that is often assumed to be in the concept of homo economicus, right? So here what happens is that we are restricted by internal and external environmental factors and by the manager's own characteristics and decision making ability, right? So that is your bounded rationality. Okay, क्या होता है वो? Bounded rationality होता है. चलो, next question. Let's have a look at 89. 89 is there on your screen. Let's try. So a decision is said to be rational when it is based on. ये तो बहुत easy है. This is normal thing here. Gut feeling, reasoning, bias, emotions, both A and B. B, reasoning. We are talking about a rational decision making. So if it is rational, how it can be based on gut feeling or bias or emotions, right? So it has to be based completely on reasoning. Okay, so reasoning पे base होगा, बिल्कुल सही है. So you can see the answer has to be B. Option number B, that is a decision is said to be rational when it is based on reasoning. Okay. Chalo, question number 90. Let's try. D. Framing bias. The propensity of a decision maker to be influenced by the manner in which the information is presented to him is known as framing bias. Absolutely. So this is your framing bias. Framing bias क्या होता है? It occurs when people react differently to something depending on whether it is presented as positive or negative. In other words, a decision is influenced by how the information is presented rather than what is being said. है ना? So जैसे आपको present किया जाता है, how it has been presented, that particular type is influencing the decision maker's decision here, right? This influence is said to be framing bias. Okay. Chalo, question number 91. Let's try. Let's see. Discussing a problem face to face with open minds by group of selected person. What is this? Delphi? Delphi is not a face to face. Multi-voting, didactic, brainstorming, decision tree. Didactic, brainstorming, it has to be brainstorming. Rudra, ठीक है, आंसर क्या है? Brainstorming है. Brainstorming is a method of generating ideas and sharing knowledge to solve a particular commercial or technical problem, in which participants are encouraged to think without any interruption, right? So there is no interruption, there is a free flow of ideas. You put in your idea, wait for your turn, that is next time when it comes to you, right? Positives only, absolutely. Positive, negative, both. It is not just positive, everything is taken there, welcomed as an idea. Okay, brainstorming is you give your idea. Okay, no negative, no positive, it's okay, कोई ऐसा प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, ठीक है. So brainstorming is a method of generating ideas and sharing knowledge to solve a particular commercial or technical problem, in which participants are encouraged to think without any interruption. ठीक है. Chalo, 92. Let's try this. Let's see. Dash emerges when decision makers have limits on their ability. Yes, no criticism, Rudra. That is right. So there is no criticism on the ideas. That is the main part of your brainstorming session. Chalo, 92. Dash emerges when decision makers have the limits on their ability to assimilate large amounts of information. Limited rationality. So dash emerges when decision makers have limited on their ability to assimilate large amount of information. Limited, bounded. It has to be bounded rationality. Again, bounded rationality is what? It is a human decision making approach where we aim to satisfies, right? Satisfies rather than optimize. In other words, we seek a decision that is satisfactory or good enough rather than striving for the absolute best possible decision. Remember, we had a question on satisficing. What is satisficing? Where we are where we are happy with the decision that has been taken. We do not worry about the best possible outcome. Whatever decision has been taken, we are okay with it. मतलब अच्छा है, ठीक है, चल जाएगा वाला काम है, right? So here also the same thing is happening. Bounded rationality. So it emerges when the decision maker is limiting his ability to to process the large amount of data that is available to him, right? So because what is happening, he is happy with the satisfactory in result. He is not worried about the larger result, the better, best possible outcome, right? So that is why it is bounded rationality. Chalo. Okay, 93. So let's try 93. Let's see what should be the answer here. Prospect theory of decision making is given by. Now this is a general awareness question, right? General knowledge question actually. If you know, you know. You cannot guess in here. So let's try. What should be the answer? Prospect theory of decision making is given by Daniel Kahneman, Henry Mintzberg, Herbert Simon, Edward Deming, Albert Bandura. It will be Kahneman, Daniel Kahneman. Okay. So Daniel Kahneman, the prospect theory holds that individuals are more influenced by the possibility of a loss than the prospect of an equivalent gain. This theory was originally developed by Amos Tversky and Daniel Kahneman in 1979. Okay, 1971 में 1979 में these two people formulated this particular theory, that is prospect theory, where we are influenced by possibility of a loss. So we are worried more of the loss rather than focusing on equal amount of a gain, right? So we are worried more of the losses that we can face. Chalo, 94. Manish is going on a vacation and needs to book a hotel. He shortlists three hotels and is now comparing them on the basis of cost, facilities available, and proximity to tourist sites. Which step of decision making is Manish performing? वो क्या कर रहा है? He is evaluating the alternatives here, right? What he is doing, he is comparing them. He has three hotels, right? He has three hotels here. He is now comparing those three hotels. That means he already has alternatives, alternative 1, 2, and 3. Now he is weighing the alternative. He is evaluating these three alternatives on the basis of cost, facilities, and the available and the proximity to the tourist sites here. So which is that particular step that he is doing? He is evaluating the alternatives. Now he is not generating the alternatives. So उसने पहले से ही book कर लिए hotel, right? He already has shortlisted three hotels. He is not generating the alternatives. He is also not defining the selection criteria, because already he has the selection criteria, that is he is looking for better cost, better facility, and proximity to tourist sites. So B is also not the right answer. Reviewing the decision, he has not decided as of yet, right? Removing biases, that is also not happening. So it is option number C. Okay. So alternatives, he is already seeing the alternative here. So Manish has progressed to step 4, where he has already identified the alternatives, that is the three hotels, and is currently in the process of evaluating him based on the criteria, which is cost, available facilities, and the tourist destinations, nearby tourist destinations in here. Okay, option number C. Chalo, question number 95. Let's try. 95. What should be the answer? इंट्यूटिव अभी तो किया था. Bounded rationality. This has to be bounded rationality, right? We have seen already. Which is this one? Good enough solution rather than the best possible one, right? Abhi thodi der pehle, just few questions back, we have seen when we focus on good enough and not the best possible one, it is said to be the bounded rationality. Okay, so answer will be option number B. Chalo, question number 96. Let's try. In the context of group decision making, what does group think refers to? Group think: a healthy exchange of ideas and opinions, a unanimous decision reached through consensus, the tendency for a group to confirm and avoid conflict at the expense of critical thinking. Uh, Question number 95. What happened, Jackin? 95 was bounded rationality. Okay, 95 was bounded rationality, Jackin. Okay, 96. A healthy exchange of ideas and opinions. Is it? Groupthink. It has to be C. Okay. The tendency for a group to confirm and avoid conflict at the expense of critical thinking. So what is groupthink? When we have most of the people having one particular idea and they try to do away with the ones who are against that particular idea, right? So it is about the peer pressure or the group pressure that we have, right? So that is your groupthink here. So they try to confirm and avoid conflict at the expense of critical thinking. ज़्यादा नहीं सोचते. Okay, so that is your option number C. The tendency of a group to confirm and avoid conflict at the expense of critical thinking is your groupthink. Okay, chalo. Question number 97. Which of the following is not a common decision making bias? Okay, which of the following is not a है, which of the following is not a common decision making bias? Let's see. Confirmation bias, anchoring bias, sunk cost fallacy, objective analysis. अब इसमें से कौन सा डिसीजन बायस नहीं है? यू कैन सी दिस इज अ डिसीजन मेकिंग बायस, दिस इज ऑल्सो अ डिसीजन मेकिंग बायस, sunk cost fallacy and objective analysis. Objective analysis क्या होगा? Is it a bias? Is it a bias? Objective analysis? It has to be D. ठीक है? D will be the one which is not a common decision making bias, right? Here यहाँ पर तो आप analyze कर रहे हो, right? When you have objective analysis, that means you are trying to analyze whatever objective, whatever options you have, right? How can it be a decision making bias, right? The rest of the three, confirmation bias, anchoring bias, and sunk video fallacy, is the one that is a bias here. Sorry, my video was lacking. I was answering previous questions. That's okay, Jack, and no issues. I hope this is clear, everybody. So the answer here has to be 97. Okay, 97. Sorry, here the answer has to be option number D. That is objective analysis. Okay, तो आंसर क्या होगा? Objective analysis for this one. Chalo, 98. Let's see what is 98 in here. Which of the following is the step for the decision making process? Final step for decision making process. सब कुछ हो गया, हमने डिसाइड कर लिया. फाइनली क्या करते हैं? वंस वी हैव डिसाइडेड, what is the final step after making the decision? Reviewing the decision. Absolutely, that has to be the last one. That is, we review the decision. If we have made the right decision, if it was actually whatever alternative we have selected, was it having any final good thing or not, right? So we have to review the alternative also, that whatever we have implemented, ठीक है, जो भी हमने implement किया है, whether that happened, whether it was all successful or not, so that is reviewing the decision. So absolutely it has to be option number D. Okay, chalo, 99. Second last question, let's try. What is the term for a decision making process that involves breaking a problem into smaller manageable parts and addressing them individually? What is the term for a decision making process that involves breaking problems into smaller manageable parts and addressing them individually? नाम से ही समझ में आ रहा है, right? We can understand it from the name itself. Incremental decision making. Absolutely, it has to be incremental decision making. Holistic decision making nahi hoga, Nikhila. It is your A. Incremental decision making, where we break in the information available into smaller parts, manageable parts, and then we address each of the information, each of the alternatives separately. Okay, that is your incremental decision making. Chalo, last question. Question number 100. Which of the following best describes the sunk cost fallacy in decision making? Sunk cost fallacy. Sunk cost fallacy. Rudra, as far as I remember, it has gone as low as 1.5. I'm not really sure what it was last year, but it is not very high, right? So you should try to do some 4-5 questions also. अगर आपने 4-5 questions भी कर लिए, you will be able to come over the minimum cutoff, because it is not a one that it is in qualifying nature, right? Qualifying nature का होता है तो इतना कोई वो नहीं है, but yes, you have to clear the minimum cutoff. Okay, A, B. So what is sunk cost fallacy? Making decisions based on costs that cannot be recovered, prioritizing new investment over existing ones, making decisions without considering any cost, ignoring the emotional aspect of decision. देखो sunk cost है, sunk का क्या मतलब है? Something that has already sunk, right? Which cannot be recovered. डूब गया ना? तो sunk cost से क्या समझ में आ रहा है? Making decision based on cost that cannot be recovered. So that means it has to be option A, isn't it? I hope this is clear. Everybody clear with the question? So it has to be option number A. Okay. Chalo. So these were the 100 questions that we had for today. Please remember, tomorrow again you will be having 2 more marathons, one at 9:30 and one at 2, right? So there are 2 more marathon sessions. one at 9:30, one at 2, right? PIB और एक और आपका है. And similarly at Saturday also you have one more 9:30 onwards marathon. Do not miss it out. Very very helpful for your upcoming examination. So I hope you enjoyed this particular session. In case you have any doubts, you can mention it in the screen below. ठीक है, नीचे comments में mention कर सकते हो. You can talk to me on the group that is Reasoning by Nikita as well. So thank you so much guys. I hope you enjoyed today's session. मजा आया हो तो session को like जरूर कर देना and do share it with your friends as well so that they can get benefited from these 100 questions in depth. So thank you so much guys. I hope you enjoyed the session. In case you have any doubts, feel free to talk to me. I'll be happy to help you out with it. So thank you. Please take care. Stay safe. Have a great day. Thank you.